Radio. VA1 Radio. VA1 Radio. VA1 Radio. VA1 Radio. Basta all hits, all Pinoy. Kahit nasaan ka man ito'y mapapakinggan. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. 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 Basta all hits, all Pinoy. Kahit nasaan ka man ito'y mapapakinggan. VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio. 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 VA1 Radio, VA1 Radio.
This is V81 Radio Worldwide. Almighty God, grant us the courage of Jesus Christ, your Son, to face the coronavirus pandemic with trust, strength, compassion, and resiliency. Give us the grace of the Holy Spirit to free us from fear and anxiety, so we may do actions of help and support and look forward to our healing with hope. We pray for the health workers, food liners, maintenance cleaners, logistics abler, government leaders, and volunteers who continuously come together to deliver our daily needs to survive. Guide us from this time of crisis. Preserve us in peace. Protect the weak and vulnerable and those who serve the society during this pandemic. This we ask and pray in Jesus' name, our Savior. Amen. Naghahatid saya sa mga Pinoy, mga kantang tatak Pinoy. Kahit nasan ka man, kami ay mapapakinggan. Streaming worldwide. The future of radio in Manila, California, and Hong Kong. This is V81 Radio.
Malayo ka man sa iyong pamilya, dito ay hindi ka nag-iisa. Tiyak ito'y iyong hahanap-hanapin, dahil ito ang nagpapasaya sa atin. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino, basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan, kahit nasaan ka man ito'y mapapakinggan. Oh, V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. Dahil mahal namin kayo. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program anchors and producers and do not necessarily reflect the policies and position of this station. Samahan na natin si Rachel Bonus at Ral Santos dito sa KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo. Dito lang yan sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
And hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo, or KPI for short, like the Key Performance Indicator. So if you're in the Philippines, good afternoon, or any part in Asia, that is GMT +8, I suppose. And for our kababayans in California, it's good morning. And for our kababayans in other parts of the world, wherever you are, I guess it's still good morning and good afternoon for other people. Today, it's more exciting because we're heading to a modified, enhanced community quarantine. And what does that actually mean? It's so profound. So whatever it means that we have to still be careful. We are transforming. So our program today, our show today will be all about transformation. And we have two ladies who are leading in their particular sectors and are great transformation leaders. One is our counselor from the third district. Her name is Consi Peach De Leon. Consi kasi yan ang palayaw sa ating mga konsehal. At ang isa ay si Cherry Pua Africa. She is an NLP practitioner and the most followed women, one of the most followed women in Asia um, when it comes to transformation. So let's call in my partner here, Raul Santos, our good-looking Raul Santos, to
Yes,
help
hello.
us transform. Hi there. Are you
Yeah,
ready to
hello.
transform? You've been transforming the whole week into the work mode.
Yes, indeed. Actually, yeah, nonstop yung work. But yeah, hello, viewers and listeners from all Filipinos all over the globe. Welcome to the show. Welcome to KPI. Yes, very exciting show today as we will be interviewing um, very powerful leaders, very powerful women leaders. We'll be discussing, we're talking about transformation.
So one of the questions that you always see online is, are we ready to go out there in the world? Are we ready for a modified version of the ECQ?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
It will depend
because
on the area, I would say.
because we have to all remember that the ECQ wasn't meant as a cure. There's no cure yet for
Of
the
course,
virus. It's meant to just slow it down. I believe
stabilize.
Dr. Jojo D also explained that
That's
when
right.
yeah, he's the one heading the operations of um,
The one in Savior.
Savior. Yeah, I could see that you were trying to jog your memory because you were looking up this Jojo D again. Well,
Hey,
anyway, yeah, he was saying that the ECQ is meant to arrest the development. That's why there's a
yes,
show
that's
called
right.
Arrested Development. Arrested
Yeah.
Development of the
Just
spread
to
of the
contain and
virus.
stabilize, yeah.
Yes, just so hindi ma-overwhelm like what's happening in New York particularly. No, overwhelm yung health system and the hospital. So
In other
it's
countries, like I think there was an in Germany, parang it tripled the daily cases in one day. Parang ganyan, grabe. I think it was
grabe.
a few days ago. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and there was even a second wave. So we do want to avoid that. And in the
Definitely.
meantime,
Please.
that we don't have yet the vaccine or the actual cure, it's all about strengthening our immune system.
Right.
And surprisingly, because I am a chronic insomniac, parang I think part
Oh,
of it was because I'd still be online. I'd read and then from a link, tapos makikita ko may another link na interesting na naman. So instead of holding on to my book,
yeah, may
it's
stalking skills mo eh.
my talking skills. So anyway, now that we're in EPQ and I'm doing everything practically at home, I've gotten tired and started to sleep at 1 a.m. Yay! Because before I'd sleep
Wait, so
mga
that's early enough for you. 1 a.m. is already early for you.
yes, and then I get to wake
Grabe.
up 6:30. Because before I'd
Oo nga,
wake
I'm surprised. Like, you still wake up so early, even if you sleep so late.
I wish I could wake up earlier para I can work out because I haven't been able to work out because I'm the person who likes to be in a class. If I see someone can do a burpee, I should be able to do a burpee also.
Competitive.
Oo, lalo na kung mas bata sa akin, like a millennial, parang, uy, nagagawa niya. Dapat magawa ko din para I'll feel good about myself. But now, I really have to transform because of this
Right.
and ECQ. Hindi pa naman pala tapos tong ECQ at ang gym, ang Gold's Gym where I belong, has
May
even
code.
declared
Yeah,
until
bankruptcy.
got bankruptcy in the US. But
Right.
um, here in the Philippines, the Dairies, the one who owns the franchise here,
Yeah.
has announced that they're not affected. And in fact, even if you're not member, you can access their site. They have free workouts. Although ako
Okay.
kasi just mas gusto ko talaga yung thought na may kasama ako nag-workout. So it works for
It
me when
works.
I work
Okay.
out um
Trainer.
with my actually no, not the trainer, yes, kasi sisigawan ako, tumakbo ka, kasi otherwise ayoko tumatakbo. So when someone whips me, or I know I have a classmate somewhere, that
Right.
works for me. So another thing, our guest, did you know, I mentioned this a while ago, aside from Olympian siya, she won silver in
Yeah, the
in the
2008
World Olympics.
Olympics.
So
World
sharpshooter
Olympics.
siya. Diyos ko, hindi siya pwedeng magalit. Hindi. Also, but
Grabe nga when I saw her credentials, parang wala na siyang tinira eh. Parang ano kayang ininom niyang gatas nung baby siya?
oo, maraming DHA and taurine.
Nag-promil siguro 'to.
And that's the very reason I think why she is, we will ask her, why she is in public order. That's her
Right.
committee that she's heading. And also, she used to teach fitness classes back in the day. Look at that.
Wow! Ayun nga,
Yeah.
grabe.
So she was able to transform. And then Cherry naman, our transformation coach, who's the most followed in Asia, is also quite a transformation, just like you and me,
Yeah.
but more like
I'm
you.
actually very eager to meet her because I've always been really interested in NLP.
And yes, we can discuss a lot more because just like you, she's also doing KPIs. I mean, literally, the actual abbreviation of where it came from, key performance
Key
indicator, because
performance
that's what we do,
indicator.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Doing content. Yeah, and that's what we want to get into. All right. So, since we are talking about Quezon City, I'm being
Yeah.
mindful of the time. Sometimes I can be a little too articulate, articulating a lot of things. So since we are talking about Quezon City, um, when we were doing the pre-discussion, of course, pre-prod
Mhm.
meeting with Quezon City Councilor Pichi De Leon,
Right.
and she's pretty new, pero ang dami na niyang ginagawa. Doon ko
Oo
lang
nga.
nalaman na yung mga ordinances, like for example, one-side street parking, or even the time, like in Makati, if you work in
Yeah,
Makati,
from
merong
this time to this time, yeah.
Oo. Ay, kailangan ng ordinance. Oo, nakikita ko yung ordinance. Kala ko naman, baka, baka may mag-bash sa akin na ala classroom. Ha? Alam mo yung law of the classroom?
Oo.
Alam mo yung law of the classroom? Hindi ko nakita the whole week. It's been viral. Like, ako kasi I didn't know that you, there are committees within the city who
Okay.
make who has to it's like a bill. They have to give it. They have to submit it to the mayor. They discuss it among themselves
Right.
and vote on it, whoever to approve or disapprove. And if there's a budget, and then that's when it becomes the law of the city. Like it
Right.
becomes the ordinance. Like
Yeah.
kala ko kasi si barangay captain na nag-iisip na, uy, masyadong masikip yung dalo ng trapiko.
Oo.
Gawin nga nating one
Gagawin
side.
gawin initiative na niya kaagad.
Oo, akala ko gano'n.
Pero
Kasi
parang marami pa talagang layers yun, eh.
marami palang layers talaga. So, how is the counselor affecting our day? What's the impact of the counselors in our daily lives?
Yeah,
Are
yun
there...
magandang maintindihan mamaya. Let's ask,
Oo. Kasi yung iba, kunyari, nagko-complain yung iba. I think it's the lack of information that
yeah,
brings about the complaint. But if you understand better, we can all be part of the transformation. And
right.
we constantly read
That's
in the
part of the
news,
solution. Oh, yeah.
we constantly read in the news right before ECQ that economically we were doing so good
Mhm.
consistently every year. But a lot of people would say, bakit hindi ko maramdaman on the
Ay,
barangay level?
Right,
So
right,
we have to be able to transform, and it has to
right.
be. And the good thing about it, even before that, ECQ was the thing, we were talking to the barangays already. Na ano pang ginagawa niya dyan? Para
Mm,
lang ma-boost natin yung best practices and its culture building. Siyempre, alam mo, for me kasi happiness is contagious eh. In the same way as,
agree.
there's
Absolutely.
yeah, in the same way as misery loves company, happiness is
Right.
contagious also.
Uh,
So mas maganda na yung komunidad where we belong is happy and everyone's willing to transform. So
yeah.
before we get on to the stats of Quezon City,
Okay.
we just want to greet Anna, of course, is again watching. Anna, who's taking care of all our social media. And
Hello.
then hi. Wow, there's a person named Lucky who shared our stream. Well, aren't we lucky indeed that someone named Lucky shared it?
Boy,
Thank
okay
you,
yan ah.
Lucky. Yeah. Later on, baka mamaya si Lucky, si Luis Manzano pala. Okay. Sexy pa, di ba? And then I want to say hi also to Elena Respicio. Hi, wherever you are. And of course, Cherry is already watching because she wants to know later, of course. She's just like that. She's very in
Right.
the moment, which I love. And for me, she's just so enigmatic. Parang when
Yeah.
if you attend one of her sessions, she's one. I don't
Wait,
know
so
if you've heard about.
you've attended
Pardon?
one of our sessions?
Yeah, yeah. And then there's a
Oh.
fire walking. You walk on top of charcoal.
Oh, charcoal.
And yeah, it's
So
all
you did
about
that?
mind.
You did
Ako
that?
hindi. Hindi
And
kasi
then,
umulan. Namatay yung apoy. Nung gagawin ko na. And also, I
grabe
was,
naman, na law of
cause,
attraction mo lang yung ulan. Dahil sobrang taas,
no,
na-attract mo
no.
ang ulan para mamatay
You'd
yung
feel
charcoal.
so, you'd feel so empowered if you do it. And,
I'm
you
sure.
know, full disclosure, I was one of the trainers facilitating the whole
Okay.
session. It was like a team building. So I keep talking to
Mm,
you about training online
that's right.
because that's something that we can do. And then we'll find out more from Cherry later. Again, we'd like to look through the Quezon City stats kasi
Okay.
very interestingly, did we know? Ako, I had some kind of idea that Quezon City is the biggest city in terms of population in the
Mm-hmm.
whole country. And that is
Right.
very interesting because imagine archipelago tayo. We're archipelagic. So, to be the biggest, it means ang daming nakakoncentrate doon. Kasi iniisip ko baka Manila, hindi pala. It's Quezon
Yeah.
City.
Quezon City is the
Imagine,
biggest talaga.
yeah,
That's
it's
why the
3
number is
million.
also pretty big. But in terms of the proportion, parang it's not naman as bad as it sounds if you just hear the number. Diba?
Yes, yes, we will see. And District 3 on its own is already about 30,000 people. So it's 300,000 people.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's about 10% already of Quezon City
Mm-hmm.
already, di ba?
Should
So,
we show that?
yes, please.
Okay, hold on. Let
If we
me.
can ask Robbie and Dean to
Oh,
please
there.
upload.
Okay. If not, I can also show it. Hold on.
Yeah, sometimes it's just, that's how it is in the Philippines. There is lag on.
Wait lang. So
Sabi, if
share
you want,
screen. Wait, share screen. Okay,
okay,
hold on.
yung first slides
Okay.
natin for first segment.
There. Can you see my screen?
Um, I'm waiting, but anyway, very interesting because it's as of May 15 na COVID cases,
Right.
and it will show that very interesting that there are 1,800 cases.
So you
Tama
don't
ba?
see it
Ang
yet?
ganda
Yeah.
daw.
You don't see the. Oh, there it
Okay.
is. It's there.
There. Yeah, there really is lag. Side kwento, merong si Dita Isekmon, Lopez
Mm-hmm.
was in a round table with Peter Wallace, and we covered that, V81. V81 did the airing. Tapos,
Okay.
si Peter Wallace was saying, how unreliable, how unreliable internet here. Tapos nawala siya. Tapos sabi ni Tita Isaac Mon, sabi niya, yan, kasi nag-complain siya about internet here in the country. So anyway, talagang matagal ang ating internet.
Yep.
So anyway, going back, we have for DOH, and again, syempre may lag din to. DOH says it's 1,800. What?
Right.
1,804.
And then with
And
complete
then,
address.
yun ang nakakapagtaka.
Right.
Saan na sila? So, yun yung mga kailangan natin bantayan.
Right. That's about
Kasi
150 address na kulang na addresses, ano?
yes, yeah, you're right. Good math there. But anyway, tapos, half of that number are suspects already. And I suppose those are the spouses or housemates of, or partners,
Mm.
significant other, whatever the political correct term for them,
Oo
of,
nga.
of the COVID cases. So, yun yung mahalaga eh. If we really want, there has to be some science behind the data to be able to know kung saan na ba kumalat.
Right.
So that's why we feature the barangays to find out ano ba yung best practices. Katulad si Andrew, si Kanto Boy Chair. Ang maganda sa kanya, nalaman niya, gusto niyong lumabas para kumain, ha? Okay,
Oh,
bawat kalye, kasara natin, merong bayanihan kitchen. Ito lang
right.
magpapakain. So walang choice but to
Oh,
get from the kitchen.
that's right.
Tapos, si Rojas District, si Dr. Tata naman, na maliban sa pagiging barangay chair, siya na rin ang nagpaanak. At kung
Oh,
meron
grabe.
kang common cold,
Super,
titingnan
super,
din,
superhero.
yeah, with a lab gown. Not a cake, but a lab gown. So,
Ah,
siya naman, kinuha niya talaga yung addresses, address to address, kinuha niya yung mga taong nandun
tama.
para malaman kung ilan ba talaga yung kailangan na relief goods, good for how many people. But beyond that, you'll know perfectly na kung isa doon, healthcare worker, sabi niya kasi healthcare worker, yung
Uh-huh.
natatamaan ng COVID. Eh.
Yes.
So, sino kasama nun sa bahay? Yun ba yung tinamaan?
Oh.
And then, later on, interestingly, malalaman natin, maibabahagi natin sa iba that predominantly pa din sa high-end villages, mas madami ang COVID cases in Quezon City. We found that out from Dr. Giorgio D when we were
Tama.
talking about Green Hills being the most dense in terms of the number of COVID cases.
Mhm.
But here, it turns out it's Ayala Heights. So what gives? Is it because of the travel? Because they could afford to
Possibly.
travel? Or yeah.
Possibly.
And then let's see the numbers in the next slide for District 2.
There it
So,
is.
sa District 2, we have 100, what is it?
Wait,
So,
hold on.
yeah, there we
District
go.
1. Okay, District 2. There you go.
Yeah, District 2. Let me wear my ojos. Okay,
Active
okay,
total. Oh, okay.
okay.
District 2
So,
total is 163.
163. So, that's May 15. So, I would think there's some lag in the encoding of the data.
Yeah.
What surprised me was ang laki ng District 3. That's where I belong. I lived there for more than half my lifetime. I just moved to Makati, remember?
Yeah.
And so, ang District 3 pala ay Project 3, 4, Loyola Heights, where you
Yep.
are, where I was.
Yep.
Loyola Heights pa ba kayo? Kama Loyola Heights.
Hindi na.
Balara.
What's it called?
La
Pansol?
Vista.
Yeah, sa La
Pansol?
Vista.
Pansol?
Yung mga
Okay.
barangay
Okay.
uh,
So, I wonder if La Vista has a lot too. But you'll never know yet.
parang very few from what I understand.
Okay. Parang the last time I checked in Loyola Heights, Varsity Hills, where I came from and where Conce is from, and then in fact, nakikita ko yung husband niya before. Siyempre, yung husband niya kasi, just as a trivia, the husband was also konsehal before. So, yung
Okay.
husband niya, nung nakatira pa ako doon, nakikita ko sa simbahan.
Okay.
And, yeah. And then, Eastwood is part of District 3. Napakalawak ng District 3.
That's right.
Hindi ko alam kung nasan yung iba eh. Nasan yung nagsisimula sa A. Ngayon, Amihan ba?
Amihan,
Ngayon ko lang narinig. Hindi ko alam kung nasaan yun.
Pero ito naman, sa Amihan, there's 0 active, pero may 2 recovered.
Hindi na kasi active na.
Yan nga.
Hindi na
Pero
siya,
gusto ko yung sa District 2, you have, for District 2, 79 yung active, and then 68 yung recovered. So parang, ang taas ng recovery ratio sa cases.
Pero yun ang gusto ko malaman. Ang 79 ba active now? Were the 68 out extracted from the 79? Does it mean there are only 11 active now? Or there are, at the moment, as they say in social media, 79 active. And at the moment, 68. It's a different set. Para siyang
That's
algebra,
right.
di ba? So, anyway. Okay.
Kasi 163 all in all. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Hiwalay.
Yeah, hiwalay. So, all in all, they had 179 plus
163 all in all for District 2.
Yeah. Pero parang that doesn't add up. 79 plus 68?
79 plus 68 plus 16 for the ones involved.
Okay. Yeah.
Ang galing mo rin mag-math, ha? Nahuli mo yan, ha?
So, anyway, and then next, District 1, where you were before, has
Yes,
the
where I was
highest.
before.
And that's because they have Batasan over there, where there's really a very dense community. Maybe.
Right. These red ones are the ones with the most numbers, no? Bahay Toro,
Yeah.
Maharlika.
Oo. Yan yung, in fact, that and District 4's Kalusugan, Barangay Kalusugan, I think we're locked down. We're in complete lockdown. So, may
Right.
parang nagkaroon
Kasi nga
ng
sobrang dami.
crime scene ribbon. Okay. So, ang napakadami. Kasi kung mapapansin mo, nung kausap natin si Manila, we'll have Manila again. Nung kausap natin si Manila, ang kanilang way is several streets only per barangay.
Right.
But
Tama.
here, napakalaki ng isang barangay. So, mas mahirap, mas challenging sila. And that's the reason. Yeah, that's the reason also, if we see the proportion, kaya mas madami ring cases kasi sila yung
Exactly.
pinakamalaki.
Yeah.
So, at isa pa, kahapon may nag-breaking news right before we go for a break and then call in our consi na nagmadali kumain just so to give way and accommodate the interview here. Right? Kahapon, si Manila Bulletin, nag-breaking
May
news.
liquor ban.
Oo, na-lift na daw yung liquor ban. So, my cousins were panic kasi my cousins are from Quezon City. Na-lift na ba? Nako. And then may mga reaction dun sa thread ng Manila Bulletin. That's kind of a little that's kind of not a little and then that's very contradicting. That's a little confusing, misleading, because it's not just Quezon City who lifted the ban. Pasig and Pasay supposedly have lifted the ban, and we'll find out more from Consi. Yeah. Also, si Consi is the author of that. Imagine.
Of
that ordinance to lift the ban.
Okay, talaga?
So, we'll find out the guidelines. In fact, very strict pa siya kasi parang 1 to 6 every day lang pwede bumili ng alcohol.
I think 1 to 5 eh. Sa Quezon City at least, it's 1 p.m. to 5 p.m.
1 to 5 p.m. So iba is 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So 8 a.m. pa lang, pwede ka ng
parang mahirap yata yun.
Yeah. Happy hour. Yes. So, let's find out more when we come back. After a short break, please don't go away.
Don't go anywhere.
Yes, wherever you are, we are on Facebook too. Tell your friends if they don't have Facebook in their area. We're on YouTube, and we are on Amazon, and we have the V81 app, free forever on your
Mhm.
iOS and Android. So see you
Yep.
in a
Spread the
matter of
word. When we come
1 minute.
back, more of the show.
Magbabalik ang KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo sa V81 Radio Worldwide. Kabayan, nahuhomesick ka ba? I-download na ang aming mobile app at mag-enjoy sa mga kantang tatak Pinoy and feel like you're home. The V81 Radio mobile app, available in the App Store and Google Play Store. V81 Radio mobile app, free now, free forever. Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, the future of radio. This is your all hits, all Pinoy internet radio station. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.
Balikan na natin ang KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Yes, hello.
And
Welcome back.
And welcome back. I'd like to greet, because it's been customary for us to greet those who have joined us online for the discussion. There's Mommy Daddy. They're my friends on FB. And Emerson Cuyos, who's from ITO Philippines. Hello, Emer. Hello, Poch. Attorney Poch is watching. We tease him Attorney Poch because someone mistakenly calls him Attorney Poch, one of our good friends. Zara Smith, who's all the way from Cebu. Marie Jo, who is my classmate from high school, who now lives in Santa Rosa, and is asking when are we going to feature Santa Rosa.
Oh,
Okay,
yun.
medyo, yeah, overwhelmed. Actually, I've been getting in touch with the
Okay.
mayor, Egay San Luis of Laguna, but
Uh-huh.
I guess he's very overwhelmed because Santa
Super
Rosa has
busy.
been in partly lockdown
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
yeah.
while kasi daming pasaway. So Marijo, if you could connect us, we'd be glad to um, also feature them. Hello, Majo. And then I have Mimi from California and Jenny, my friend also, whom I
Daming
haven't seen.
fans.
Friends, hindi siya fans. Kasi mas ano
Ganun na rin
sila.
yun.
No, so of course we greet them. And then, so we're back. And also, we want to, oh, Mayor Arcilia daw sa Santa Rosa, Laguna. So, anyway, so we'd like to call in our very multifaceted konsehal. Let us show first
Yes.
how the hearing happens. Kasi I was so surprised na ganun din yung hearing na to pass an ordinance to have it approved. Because before, I was sharing with her that I was part of a group who advocated to have a bill enacted into a law, and proud
Mm-hmm.
to say that it is now a law. So,
Really?
we advocate for it dun sa mga senators and Congress. And then may hearing. Tapos maghihintay ka. Pero sa kanila mas mabilis, mas efficient yung hearing. Kasi
Right.
parang among the 6 councilors, may iba-iba palang
Right.
committees. At parang ako lang ang may hindi alam nun. So,
Actually, ako rin. Pareho lang tayo.
no, kasi right ka na. So there, we'll find that the vice
Ayun.
mayor pala is
Mm-hmm.
the head of all the councilors. Tama kaya ang intindi ko. At maganda pa, ang
Malalaman
isa
natin
pa,
mamaya.
oo, ang isang pinasa. So sana we can play that.
Cost times the number of days lalabas. Tama po ba?
Yes.
200 lang. Kung kailan, kung matapos. So if ever, for example, kunyari, well, sabihin na natin, let's say that I'm advocate. Kung nag-start tayo ng March, paano, kung sakaling umabot tayo ng June, July, so that's the amount of money. 200 times that much space ang magiging computation yan. Tama po ba?
Okay, this computation is only until May 15, 2020. From March 15 to May 15, 2020.
And Mr. Presiding Officer, if I can be recognized.
Mr. Ramadan.
Ano pa pala, no? According to the budget officer, depende rin sa barangay yan. If
There, it's just a snippet or an
Right.
excerpt of our Consi Pichi de Leon of District 3 defending the ordinance that she passed, wherein recognizing and giving hazard pay retroactively to our frontliners. And who are these? Sabi nga niya, if
Ah,
you
she
watch
was
the
the
whole,
one? She
oo,
initiated that?
yeah, it's 200
Oh,
per day. So
nice.
it's retroactive when I did the simple math. It was about
Yeah.
12,000. And makukuha. At malaking bagay na yun. Imagine, lakad ng lakad
Oo.
sila barangay chair at kung sino man yung kasama niyang kagawad to make
Right.
sure that peace and order are in place. So, before we again introduce our, ikaw, introduce mo, kasi napakahaba ng
Yeah.
kanyang resume,
Oo,
no?
grabe.
From being an Olympian to,
Oo nga eh.
hindi na nga nalagay dyan na fitness instructor eh. But we
Oo.
have girlfriends from New York. Liwan Lazala, she's from upstate New York. I wonder if she's still in Poughkeepsie. And then my gym classmate na hindi ko na magiging classmate, si Josh Roldan. And Eman, who's a broadcaster also. He was in one of the workshops I attended. So hi to them, and let's hear
Hello.
thank you, Ralph. Let's hear what the background is of
Yeah, grabe. So our next guest, she's a graduate of BS Tourism from UST. She worked for the airline industry for 9 years with the likes of Royal Air and Asiana Air. board secretary and active member of the Quezon City Ladies Foundation. Grabe. Also, aside from that, president of the Miriam College High School Family Council, member of the Philippine team for practical shooting. Yun nga, we were talking about this kanina. She won
Yeah.
silver in the 2008 World Olympics. Grabe. Certified scuba diver and even does photography underwater. A woman of conviction specially dedicated to serving the marginalized sector. A willing voice for women empowerment and gender equality. Second, assistant minority floor leader of the 21st City Council. Grabe, halfway pa lang tayo dito ha. Chairwoman Committee on Public Order and Security. Vice Chairman, Committee on Children's Affairs. Member of the Quezon City Peace and Order City Council and Anti-Drug Council, and board member of Public Law Enforcement, and also soon to be head of the District Advisory Council for Police Transformation. Councilor of Balara, Loyola Heights Project 3 and 4, none other than Consi Pichi de Leon.
Yes, our neighbor. Thank you, Consi.
There she is.
Yay! Hi!
The
Thank you.
Renaissance
Alam
woman.
namin nagpadali ka. At maya-maya baka makasama rin natin kanina kausap namin si Ma'am
Si
Christy.
Christy, that's right.
The ever reliable na nag-a-assist kay Consi. So first,
Yeah.
before anything else, kasi merong mga MECQ na bagong ruling that's particular to Quezon City. Just like the tricycle allowed to go around, that's particularly for Quezon City. And the liquor ban. Ano ba yung, para sa mga pinsan kong taga Quezon City, ano ba yung parameters ng lifting ng liquor ban na yan? Because that's fresh from the author herself.
Right. Maganda maging clear sa mga ganitong bagay para para masundan ng guidelines, hindi maabuso.
Yeah. Okay. First and foremost, you from ECQ to MECQ, that is
Okay.
a guideline of the IATF. So hindi lang siya Quezon City. Quezon City LGU is bound to follow the guidelines of IATF. So kung ano yung ilalabas ng national government, yun ang ipa-follow namin.
Okay,
So the
reinforced.
lifting of the liquor ban, it's parang mild lang na lifting to. Hindi moderate, hindi siya totally lifting of the liquor ban. Actually nga 1 to 5 p.m. lang siya. And then may limitation siya for wine, for liquor or beer. Pag wholesaler ka, required ka pag bibili ka, you have to present your business permit. Pagka naman personal consumption mo, you have to present a government issued ID and your quarantine pass, of course. And then may limit yun kung ilan lang yung pwede mong bilhin a day. And that's between 1 to 5 p.m. only. So yun yun. And then pag nag-violate ka, may mga penalties yon. So pag ako, seller ako, ang violations ko, first offense ko is 5,000 pesos. And then second offense ko is revocation of my liquor license for selling. And then third offense ko is pati yung business permit is mare-revoke na yon. And then for a person naman na mahuhuli na violating this ordinance, first offense is 3,000 pesos. Second offense is 5,000 pesos. And then third offense is 5,000 pesos plus 100 hours of community service, which will be implemented after the COVID crisis.
Okay.
Yun yung
so meaning violations would be like if you bought after 5 p.m. or before 1 p.m., for example, or if you bought, for example, what's the maximum number of, let's say, bottles to buy for a regular consumer?
Okay, for a regular consumer, halimbawa for a wine, you're allowed 12 bottles actually. 12 bottles.
Wow, hard.
Okay. A day?
No, we're thinking of, if you limit it to 1 bottle a day, syempre, the consumer go out every day, di ba?
Yes. Yeah, you're right.
It's the purpose of staying home. So, you can go out once and then buy na what you need and then for siguro weekly consumption mo. Kaya medyo, maganda yung guidelines.
Okay.
So,
Paano yung supermarkets? Kasi I see like, well, I'm in Makati, but I see that yung shelves are not restricted from me getting the bottles. Parang
Yeah,
pwede.
but
Pero
I
I never
think in
tried.
the cashier, they won't let, when you get to the cashier, they won't let you. So they'll stop you
Ah,
at the cashier. I mean, that was
okay.
Okay.
before, no? Before it was lifted.
Oh, okay.
Wala namang limit sa pag-ano. Ngayon, meron ng limit. Pag
Right.
na-advise na yung mga supermarkets na eto lang yung allowed from the business permit department, sinabihan na may guidelines on the consumption and the purchasing of the liquor, of the alcoholic beverages.
Okay. And then, Consi, for our viewers also who are here in the Philippines or especially Quezon City, um, do is there like a place or a link where they can see all of these guidelines clearly specified?
Okay, the lifting of the liquor ban that was signed by our Mayor Joy Belmonte, Executive Order number 31, you can find it in the Quezon City website. It's quezoncity.gov.ph. It's
Okay.
there. But
All
by
right.
ordinance, I passed it already, and then it will be approved on Monday during our session.
Oh,
So,
nice. Advance
merong
congrats.
merong
Thank you.
question. Since
Yeah.
public order si ma'am, paano daw
Yeah.
mamomonitor ng city government? Tanong ni Madjoto. At happy siya na 12 bottles, pero paano daw mamomonitor na yung sumusunod tayo mga mamamayan?
Paano mamomonitor na susunod tayong mamamayan? Okay, sa pag-ikot ko naman and sa 2 months na quarantine, and I've been observing naman sa Viber groups and sa Pagbabago, alam mo, masunuri naman ng mga Quezon City citizens, and marami ang nagsistay home talaga. So, parang for me, lifting of the liquor ban is parang we all deserve a break, pang-unwind ng Pero
Right.
ang ruling ng ordinance to is for home consumption only. You cannot
Right.
drink in public, and
Yes. Tama.
whatever, it has to be at home. Kaya stay home.
Yeah.
Okay, para may social distancing, no?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
we can, so yan, let's greet and baka mag-celebrate na sila ng konti. Sila Glenna, Gochanco, Tentrix, Banyares, Lincoln, Raymond, T. Salvador. Yan, mga taga Quezon City ho yan. And,
Mga celebrating na.
yes, magsa-celebrate sila. Si Pauline Prudencio Ignacio and Marisa Pestaña Basilag. Hi. Yan, yan,
Hi.
ako, kapitbahay mo yan, ma'am. Si
But
Marisa
drink
Pestaña
moderately,
Basilag.
You have to drink moderately.
Right.
Moderate. Yeah, that's my sister-in-law. So,
Although to
Mas
answer earlier question
babalikan.
pala, baka one way to monitor that would be through the security guards of the supermarkets or convenience stores. Dapat alam nila, no? They should know. Pag wine, should be 12 lang, di ba? Pag ano, para bago ka lumabas ng store, bibilangin mo na. Diba? So, di ba may mga ganyan sa mga SNRT, tignan yung groceries mo bago ka lumabas, di ba? To check how
I
much.
think naman, the business permit department have already told the supermarkets na ito yung mga guidelines. Since it was signed by the mayor yesterday, I'm sure na nasabihan na yung mga supermarkets. That's why what I
Okay.
did, I texted a few supermarket owners na may lifting na, but the guidelines will follow soon kasi nga hinihintay yung opinion or yung input ng business permit
Feedback.
department.
Okay.
okay.
All right.
Something that caught my attention there, kasi I used to have I was an MSME in Quezon City, in Ateneo, there, meron pati my husband has there. So, ang encounter ko kasi sa city government is when applying for business permit. So, that means sa barangay, and then sa Quezon City Hall, then back to barangay. Pero ngayon, meron na tayong ease of doing business, which later on we'll have to reach out to you again because we'll
Yes.
have to find out. Because meron, remember Rowie? Hindi ka pa, wala ka pa dito. I was with Rico, his dad, when we ate in this new restaurant in Project 3, Anonas Extension. Tapos nahihirapan, hindi pa ease of doing business daw kasi umaabot pa ng 3 months, naabutan siya ng lockdown, hindi pa siya nabibigyan ng permit. So, naiipit daw sa Quezon City Hall. That's why it caught my attention when you mentioned that you were able to text the supermarket owners. So that means even at the councilor level, there is engagement with the
Bumibilis na,
businesses.
oo.
Is that correct to assume
Under
na?
the new administration under Mayor Joy Belmonte, she will be implementing maybe a one-stop shop for the city. And then it has been going on na on study na yon, pinaprocess na, but then it had to stop pati database implementation because of the crisis nga. As soon as this is over, I'm sure everything will follow na.
Yeah, kasi like, speaking of database, yun nga, si Rojas District was a good example, and since you mentioned it
Right.
also, to be able to monitor kung anong nangyayari, yung increase ng COVID cases in
Ng
a particular
cases, yeah.
area. Yeah, so, and then, you also,
Actually, may I correct? It's not only Rojas District. I believe that all barangays are doing that. Monitoring. Kasi
Great.
from the barangay pa lang, meron na silang birth. And then the barangay captain and the birth team, sila ang actually frontliners pag merong
yeah,
COVID or positive, probable na
Tama.
COVID sa area nila, sila yung unang magre-respond. So nakamonitor sila, and especially if naka-home quarantine ang isang patient, talagang everyday yan, halos 24/7 nakabantay ang birth, the barangay, the tanods, nakasurround yan sa bahay, making sure na pina-follow yung protocol na home quarantine. So not only Rojas, it's all barangays.
oh, what caught our attention then was, just to give you a backgrounder, they went house to house to update the number of people actually in a particular address, because it
That's
doesn't
right.
mean na naka-register as one family. It turns out tatlo yung pamilya pala. So, yun yung update nila. And then speaking of birth, si Consi Pichi here, also authored the hazard pay for the birth. Katulad ni Bert, matagal na bang may Bert? Kasi ngayon ko lang nalaman na may Bert, na may barangay health emergency.
Actually, yung full training niyan, nung na-turn over yung lahat ng ambulances per barangay during the time of Mayor Herbert, nagbigay siya ng ambulances sa lahat ng 142 barangays ng Quezon City, kasama yung training. So, even before COVID came, very ready na ang Quezon City.
Oh, wow. So, meron pala. Wow, ang Quezon City, I never knew that. You have an ambulance per barangay?
All barangays. Every barangay.
Every barangay. And then they know, pero lahat sila pupunta sa Quezon City Gen? Ganun ba yung sistema? Kasi there's a Quezon City General.
Depende sa kung ano yung halimbawa, mayroong isang patient, tatawagan. Kasi may two scenarios yan eh. One patient, either pupunta siya diretso sa hospital kung if meron siyang symptoms ng COVID. So, hindi siya mamomonitor ng barangay kasi hindi niya dadaan sa barangay. So, pag pumunta siya sa hospital, na-test siya doon, nagpa-confine siya and all, si DOH lang ang nakakaalam nun, and then sasabihin ni DOH kay barangay. That's the only time malalaman ni barangay. But if a resident of a barangay calls the kapitan or the barangay hall, tapos sinabi niya, I'm feeling like this and that, pupunta ngayon si Bert. Hindi naman actually pupunta muna, tatawagan, may konting interview, and then if the Bert believes na it's really a COVID positive patient, they will call now the City Health. City Health naman ngayon ang magmo-monitor nun. Depende na yon kung pipick upin yung patient, dadalhin sa hospital, or kung asymptomatic naman siya, stay home lang siya, home quarantine lang, monitored by the barangay, and then 24/7 bantay ni Tanod. Ganun lang.
May bantay ni Tanod. May ganun palang initiative. So,
the hot zone and the warm zone.
Hot zone and the warm zone. Ano yung hot zone?
What are the hot zones and warm zones? Yan, to educate also all of our viewers.
All right. The hot zone is the house of the COVID patient. That is the hot zone. And then the 500 meters surrounding the hot zone is the warm zone.
What? 5 houses surrounding?
5 meters.
5 meters surrounding the hot zone, the warm zone.
Di kapitbahay kagad is one zone.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
mapapansin nyo, merong isang street, nakasara na si street kasi meron ng isang bahay doon na COVID positive, baka naka-home quarantine siya. Siyempre, minomonitor yung contact tracing ng mga kasama niya sa
Yeah, baka
bahay.
nakasalumuha niya yung
Yes.
katabing bahay.
Oo, ganun. So, yun.
Okay,
Okay.
ngayon ko lang nalaman yun na. Very educational. Okay.
Yes. So, pag 5 meters, pag sa kunyari Balara, yung masisikip na community, yung
Ako,
perimeter, no?
lampas. Parang wala pang 1 meter siguro eh.
Oo,
Okay.
kasi paglabas, yun na.
Oo. So,
Alright.
dumadami siguro warm zone doon.
Okay.
Depende po kasi yan sa residence ng patient. Kapag yung patient is pwede na mag-home quarantine siya kasi meron siyang sarili niyang room, pwedeng malayo
Yeah.
yung mga kasama niya sa house, pwede siya mag-home quarantine. Pero pag hindi, Quezon City will provide quarantine facility, the Hope 2, Hope 1, para doon siya dadalhin and doon siya magre-recover until ma-test siya as negative. And then that's the only time na babalik siya sa bahay niya.
Eh, pag nasa Hope, kasi meron akong kilala, nagkaroon sila ng COVID, mag-asawa, and medyo high-end, they ended up in Asian Hospital in Alabang, and they spent 1 million. Pag sa Hope ba, libre?
Yes.
Okay, libre.
Yun. Laking
Okay,
bagay nun.
Tapos, meron kasi
Pero sa Hope po, just to clarify, ang Hope facility natin are for the mild cases only. Pag severe yung case mo, syempre kailangan mo ng ventilator and all, kailangan sa hospital ka. Pero pag mild ka lang, doon ka sa Hope facility.
Right. For those who don't know, what does HOPE stand for?
Pag-asa lang.
Okay.
Basta it's the quarantine center that we actually
Basta Hope.
Yeah, we featured that also before when we had Dr. Naval, who is Dr. Naval used to take fitness classes under Confi Pichi de Leon, di ba?
Galing.
Napaka-transformative ng kanyang persona. Imagine that. From scuba diving, sharpshooting, silver pa. Kaya,
let me correct lang I'm not an Olympian. It's a World Shoot Olympics for practical shooting. It's not active. It's a Olympics ng practical shooting. So yun lang yun.
The one with the target shooting.
Yeah,
that's
practical
impressive. Shooting. Yeah. But meron bang target shooting in the actual Summer Olympics? Na wala this year.
Wala ata.
Wala.
We have our own.
Yeah, so we'd like to, merong isa pang taga Quezon City, si Herky Kindness, that's Tita Jim. At merong tanong, ano rong plan for small businesses? Is that under your council? Small businesses katulad ng salon.
Small businesses, yeah.
Salon.
I believe salon is not yet allowed under MFC.
Hindi nga eh. So paano na lang ang kanilang kabuhayan? Anong pwedeng anong committee yan? Yung mga small business.
Maybe you can point us to the right direction so we can lead them
because this is so informative. Like, diba, katulad, even when I was doing the rounds in the Senate, sa inyo rin ba, I want to ask, may mga constituents bang lumalapit, knocking on your door, asking for aid? Like, nasa ospitaluan ako.
Yeah.
Sa pinto niyo mismo sa Loyola Heights? Every day? Or sa sorry nagugulat ako masyado. Kasi actually sa Senado, nagugulat ako, parang feeling ko, randomly they go to the senator's office and then you're hoping that they can get
magbabaka sakali kasi
so ganun din sa inyo.
Try.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
Na nakakakuha ka ng request to give aid financially, nasa ospital yung bata, anak.
Do they go to you directly, Consi?
Yeah. Ayan. Siguro merong lag din ang kanyang internet. Baka sensitive.
Nawala. Ayan, okay, okay.
Ayan.
I'm back.
Yeah, great.
Yan,
Do
yan.
they go
What
to you
was the
directly?
question?
Do they go to you direct?
Sorry?
Do they go to you directly to ask for help?
They submit, usually they submit letters in the office. Nire-receive
Okay.
yun din sa office sa City Hall. Some naman, they text me directly.
Right. But do
Oh,
they go visit
okay.
your office directly, or they go to you physically?
Mm.
Sorry, ano? Sorry?
Do they try to go to your office, or to you physically in person?
May hinari
Can you
bang...
repeat that? Sorry,
No,
I
no,
didn't get.
no. My signal's okay.
Okay. Kung nagpupunta rin ba sila sa office mo to ask for aid, for help, either monetary or ilagay sa ospital?
Wala. I can't hear
Sige,
you.
sabi.
Oh,
Can't hear
okay.
you.
So, okay.
Again. Yan, yan.
We'll go to a break first
Right.
because there's one more transformation that we really have to know about. It's about the police.
Yeah.
The police
Yeah.
body, which is so important. So let's have a break because we're having some patchy
Some
connection
technical
right here.
difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll find out more. Break,
Okay.
please.
Okay.
Ayan, may classmate na si
Alright.
Consi. Consi,
Yes.
okay. Merong question in terms of public order, in relation to public order pa din. Paano daw yung sari-sari stores? Pwede bang bumili doon ng... Kasi syempre, nagbibenta rin sila ng beer, pero wala naman... Meron pa bang license to sell liquor, alcohol yun?
License sila to sell, yes, they can sell.
They can sell. And then do they have to get a particular special permit for that? I thought they just
No, no.
get... No. Okay, yeah. So there we go. That's answering Majovi Rai. We have viewers even from, kasi nga we want to encourage good transformation, good culture. Even viewers from District 1, si Tito Ray, Lincoln P. Salvador, and from Brookside Hills. So, and even JJ Viray, who is also doing consultancy for different LGUs. So, paano naman yung plano on the transformation of the police enforcers or the police body?
Okay, before I answer that, can we go back a little bit on the ordinance for hazard pay of the frontliners of the barangay? I just
Yes.
want to explain it a little bit so the people
Yes.
would know.
Sige, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I have come up with and it's already approved, an ordinance na providing hazard pay of 200 pesos a day to all the frontliners of the barangay, meaning the barangay personnel. These are the plantilla positions and the contractual positions, provided that they are physically working for the fight against COVID-19.
Right.
So, ang dun sa guidelines ng ordinance, first and foremost, the barangay has to issue a resolution na sinasabi doon yung names, yung list ng names ng mga beneficiaries nitong 200 pesos a day. After that, pag meron na silang list na yon, kailangan ilalabas nila yun sa social media accounts nila like Facebook or whatever, and then ilalagay sa Quezon City government website for the sake of transparency, para malaman ng constituents ng barangay na eto talaga yung nagtrabaho. At syempre,
Right.
check ka-counter-check ng mga constituents na halimbawa nilagay ni Kapitan si ganitong pangalan, sasabihin ngayon ng isang residente, hindi ko naman nakita yan na nagbantay or something. So, yun yung kailangan merong guidelines para ma-assure tayo na mapupunta talaga sa karapat-dapat na mga talagang nagsakripisyo yung hazard pay na yon. Kasi naisip ko to sa pag-ikot namin ng husband ko ni Councilor Don De Leon, nakita ko ang nagbabantay talaga sa mga barangay are the tanods, the health workers,
Yes.
and the barangay officials. Sila talaga ang unang-unang frontliners. Because bago pa makapunta ng hospital or ng hope ang isang pasyente, manggagaling siya sa bahay niya, nasa community muna siya. So, ang magbabantay talaga muna are the barangay personnel. So, sila yung naisip ko for this. Kaya, yun.
Ganda.
Yes. Because we've had a number of barangays and grabe talagang
may isa pa nga na medyo naluha kami.
Iyak siya talaga eh. Kasi this was at the beginning of the ECQ and a lot of people were still not very cooperative.
Yeah.
So, parang feeling niya pagod na pagod. Ito yung mga, meron pa raw siyang volunteers aside from their own. So, yung volunteers hindi kasama sa hazard pay.
Hindi kasi under DILG and COA, kailangan nasa plantilla
may
positions.
plantilla.
Pero as per my conversation naman with the capitans, pwede namang doon na lang kukunin sa pondo nila. Sila na munang bahala sa volunteers until wala pa tayong mahanap na budget. Pero as of the moment naman, meron na yung iba. So yung volunteers, gagawan muna ng paraan ni Kapitan.
Okay. Talaga, alam mo, maparaan sila Kapitan You know, they even... I found out that Canto Boy, Drew Lopez,
nalaman namin
is
kanina from Christy. Family friend daw.
Your family friends. Pero ang galing kasi talagang he's so committed about it. He solicits for donations. Tapos nahamon pa niya si Francis Leo Marcos na bigyan sila ng bigas na sangkatutak na sa dami ng bigas nabigyan pa niya yung kapitbahay niyang mga barangay, and then nagpamanok pa siya. So Kasi di ba it's such a treat for them already dahil nga they've been locked down for so long and ang ginawa pa niya, may bayanihan kitchen, knowing na gusto lumabas, bumili ng pagkain, sabi niya walang lalabas. Dito, magluluto. Kada kalye, ang barangay in Manila are smaller than Quezon City. So, he only has about 4 roads, streets to guard, but he makes sure no one gets out because he had 1 COVID case and never again. 0 again. So,
Oh.
that's what we're saying, how committed the barangay officials are when
Yes.
in fact,
Yes.
So thank you very much for the hazard pay because the 200 pesos is, if you think about it, that's equivalent to a day's meal. Kasi mami ako, so nagluluto ako, pero 2 lang kami magkina na kumakain. Pero that's a big deal na din kasi sila
Of
lagi
course.
silang wala and they're
And thank you kay Mayor Joy for approving it and giving me a chance na mabigyan naman yun. Thank you, Mayor.
Yes.
So speaking of approving it, kasi nakinig ako dun sa nasa Quezon City Gov Facebook page live yung hearing when you defended it. Is it really the mayor who approves it? Kasi parang there was a council meeting and then you had to defend it. They had questions fielded, then you had to defend it. And then it was a quorum of people approving it. It's not necessarily mayor. So how does it work?
It's the council who will approve it. But then, if you file an ordinance and it requires a budget, syempre you have to ask muna. You have to ask the budget head na, meron ba tayong pondo para sa ganito, ganyan, ganyan. Bago ka gagawa ng ordinansa. Kasi gawa ka ng gawa, wala naman palang pondo para sa
sayang lang sa effort.
So mas maganda, pag present mo na yun sa mga approving na kasama mo, meron kang evidence na, ito, galing kay budget, may pera tayo. So ganon. Tapos ako, as courtesy to Mayor Joy, syempre, bago ako nagpa-file ng anything, I'd ask her guidance. Mayor, is this okay? Is this ano? And then when she said, yeah, it's okay, then I'll go ahead. Para may heads up ba?
Kung okay lang tanungin, Consi, paano ba para lang malinaw sa mga nanonood, no? Paano ba ang order or yung chain of command sa loob ng LGU?
Okay. Sa Quezon City kasi, we have 2 branches, the executive and the legislative. Sa executive, siya si mayor. And then, ang mga barangay captains, although they have the legislative functions to issue ordinances and resolutions na supervised by the mayor, dadaan pa rin siya sa legislative body, which is the city council, for scrutiny. Doon pa rin siya ma-approve. Now, the other branch, the legislative, is headed by the vice mayor and the councilors. Our primary obligation is to enact measures, ordinances, and resolutions for the benefit of the city and the residents.
So all ordinances are the responsibility of the councilors?
Yes.
You initiate and then you have it approved upward?
Amongst us.
Okay, amongst you. Okay.
So, yung katulad nung napanood ko na nung dinidefend mo, may iba ring discussion, tapos si Vice Mayor Gian Soto yung nagpe-preside because he's the head of all the councilors. Yung ibang konsehal doon, iba-iba ring committee. Kasi ikaw yung sa public order. So, sila din, may iba silang isasuggest or ipopropose.
Yes, meron kami, lahat ng councilors may kanya-kanyang committees.
All right. So,
pero kung halimbawa ako, chairman ako ng committee ng public order, member din ako ng several committees. Kasi kailangan may member ka rin.
Oo, nagko-co-chair.
That's right.
Kung hearing kayo, meron pa rin brainstorming and suggestions and merong magbo-vote. Kasi voting pa rin talaga yon.
Okay. Kasi, for example, having been part on a national level ng nag-advocate for particular provisions or revisions of a law, dito rin ba pwede kunyari yung a private group will go to you, approach you with suggested ways to improve things
The
in the
LGU
city.
or yeah.
Oo. Pwedeng mag-approach kay konsehal, konsehal, ito raw committee mo. Can you author this? Pwedeng
Oh
ganon.
yes, yes. Actually,
Alright.
I'm very vocal naman with all the barangay captains. Every time I attend the meetings na they're all there, I always tell them na I'm always here. You let me know. I'm open to suggestions on how can I perform my job better. You just
Mm,
have to suggest and let me know. At kung kaya naman, why not? I will author the ordinance. Basta address kung ano yung
nice.
concern.
Okay. So, paano kung, kunyari, there's this private individual, can they, or kailangan through the barangay first and then to you, para maka-reach out to you? Kailangan ba parang merong ganong
Iba-iba
protocol?
naman. Merong ibang tao, they go through the barangay captain and then the barangay captain will go to me or to any other counselor. But right now naman kasi my cell phone, it's free for everybody. You can contact me, you can text me. I always answer naman. So pwede naman directly to me. So yung ganung
Nice.
ako lang may hawak ng cellphone ko and ako mismo ang sumasagot.
Wow.
Talaga.
Very
Yes, yes,
personal.
yeah. Because
Nice.
I've experienced
Good to
that with
know.
her. And she really does return the call. Medyo challenge nga lang lahat ng frontliners, including her. Kasi one time, I was trying to coordinate and then she's going, namimigay pa ako ng bigay ni Senator Bongo ng mga ayuda. And then, speaking of transformation, kasi we talked about transformation. Ano naman yung transformation and what brought that about? Is it the first time that the police body will have a transformation in Quezon City?
Okay, when I assumed the position, parang automatic yon. You are already a member of this advisory council
Mm-hmm.
by na organized by the PNP. This advisory council is composed of different sectors. Merong sector from the religious group, merong education, merong ano ba to, youth. Tapos we all gather together. Tapos we come up with parang solutions or suggestions para ma-address para matulungan ang PNP sa kanilang transformation plans for the police force. So ito,
Okay.
ang tinutulong namin is yung community relations ng mga police sa community. Yun
Oh,
yun.
very
Yun ang
important yan,
tinutulong namin. Yes, para
Yeah,
siya mapalitan yung image ng mga police na they're like this, they're
true.
like that. We help them
Arrogant.
through different sectors na member para magbibigay ng suggestions. And then, itong council na to, nag-initiate na yan, we go from different police stations, check on their database, check hands-on checking kung ano yung kailangan sa police station na to, what's the situation, and then one of the success ng itong council na to is they have put up the evidence building in Karingal. So,
Ano,
yun yung
Mm.
parang,
success nitong council.
so yung evidence building, para ba yan sa NBI or sa crime scene investigation in NY?
For the police. For the police.
Oo nga, pero doon
For the
nilalagay
Quezon
niya,
City Police.
kunyari merong nakuha na, merong fingerprint sa tablet. Doon
Mm.
i-house. Ganun ba yung ibig sabihin ng evidence building?
Basta evidence building, lahat ng na-confiscate nila as evidence, doon mo siya ilalagay. Kasi yun yung parang naging problem sa Quezon City Police District,
Yeah.
kulang ng evidence area, so yun yung
Ayun.
nailagay.
Oh, so ngayon it's
Ah.
properly sequestered, I suppose, or properly boxed. Hindi na yung
Yeah.
sama-sama
Oo.
na ma-contaminate yung yung fingerprint ko, maging suspect ako dun sa kabilang krimen, di ba? So, how about yung pagiging, kasi sabi nyo, yung community relation, syempre, hindi na tatanggal dahil nga they're people with authority, so sometimes they dating arrogant. So, syempre, there's culture building there. Is that something
Yeah.
covered?
Yes.
Okay.
Dito sa transformation, dito sa council na to, yun na nga, we study and then we give suggestions on how to make the image of the police better to the community. Kaya ginagawa namin ng community relations na program para gumanda yung image ng mga police. Siyempre with the assistance of the station commander. Siya yung kasama namin. And then pag merong good deeds na ginawa ang mga police, they are awarded monthly. May cash
Oh,
prize.
nice.
Then, ina-awardan sila sa Karingal during flag ceremony para pang boost ng moral ng mga police.
Right. Yeah, and I'm just thinking maybe it would be nice also. I know you're not much into social media kasi medyo mahiyain si Concy. Ayaw niyang pakitang kanyang good deeds. But the people under the sun, like the police officers, para hindi naman, kasi meron dati si Ronald Bato, di ba? Nandun siya sa billboard ng PNP. It doesn't have to be the billboard, but maybe the social media, just so they'll get acknowledged more. So, picking up from this discussion, kasi gustong ma-correct yung image, gusto ma-enhance yung image, was there a baseline research that was that brought this about? Kung bakit kailangan ma-improve?
Na parang hindi masyado maganda ang reputation ng police in the
Hindi naman.
LGUs or in the communities.
It's a project of the PNP eh. Parang one of their programs yun. Siyempre, under the new administration, they want, it's a different head, different chief PNP. So, iba-ibang programs yan. And part of the program ngayon ng bagong administration is this transformation.
Okay.
So, wala naman basis.
Oh, maganda yan. I can imagine kunwari, for example, they're like kunwari, one particular police officer is assigned to a certain barangay or a certain number of houses na dapat makikilala niya yung mga pamilya, yung mga anak ng mga may-ari ng bahay para they know pag may ganun silang klaseng relationship, pag mayroong problema, tatakbuhan is that police officer, di ba? And all of these different areas will have that.
And parang this is a good reboot.
Ng barangay captains and the station commanders, talagang magkakakilala, we all gather together para talagang merong magbi-build ng relationship para mas maganda yung service ng police sa community.
Yes. May camaraderie, yes. Oo.
Yes, and in terms of progress, parang we have to arrest this parang we have to seize the moment to move forward in terms of transformation. This is a good start, a good reboot. Kasi lahat na tayo nag-comply, nag-cooperate eh. Parang sa ibang bansa, when I lived, and when you visit other countries, all the Pinoys are so compliant and so cooperative to the rules and regulations of their vicinity. And yet, pagdating dito, they're very complacent. So ito yung maganda, kung kaya mo mag-cooperate because it was a matter of life and death, let's continue doing this and give each other the respect, say, for the police. Kasi minsan din naman, yung mga pasaway, nakaka-provoke din naman, di ba?
Yes.
Yung biglang sisingalan yung
Very
police.
good point.
Oo, bakit? May fire ba? Meron bang... So, thank you very much and for explaining all those.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and now what we will do, we'll go from this transformation into another one who really instills transformation in the private sector, and that's what we're looking at. We really want to do it because I'm a strong believer na kasi nakita ko na national level meron naman talagang progreso, and yet marami tayong naysayers at the bottom saying ba't di namin nararamdaman because it
hindi
has
na translate sa kanila.
Oo, from the community, which is good because you're heading that already. And sana all, no, as they say in social media, sana each barangay will do that or each LGU will do it. And we believe happiness is contagious. Parang one good deed, it's paying forward. And I think that's what you're doing also. Kasi kahit nung hindi pa siya konsehal, ay she's heading a lot of, ano pa ba yung iba, just as we close, just so we know your other advocacies on the
other
Kababaihan.
initiatives, yeah.
Yes.
Kababaihan, I have my Zumba groups, but then it stopped because of the
Pwede pala yung video.
crisis.
Pwede pala sa video. Video.
That's the time,
yeah.
And then, I'm the project head of District 3 for Istorya ng Pag-asa under the Office of the Vice President, VP Lenny Robredo. Ito naman, we look for mga inspiring stories of people parang from rags to riches, para
Uy, mahilig
ma-inspire
tayo
yung
dyan.
mga tao.
Oo.
Na-awardan ni VP Lenny yung mga yun.
Transformative
Mga ganon.
talaga.
And then, of
Oh.
course, the Quezon City Ladies Foundation, ang advocacy namin is HIV awareness and women empowerment.
Okay.
That's
Sa
it. And then,
HIV,
of course, as a mommy, I'm very active in the school of my daughter.
Miriam.
oo. Career pa din no? Kahit sa school ng
Yeah.
daughter. Because you're the head of the family council. Ang hirap nun,
Yes.
Maging,
Yes.
maging level representative nga lang. Hirap na ako dati. Sabi ko,
For
hindi
the
ko,
entire high
hindi ko,
school.
yeah, the entire high school. My gosh. So thank you very much. So now we know that if we want more inspiring stories, we can knock on you and
Yes.
ask to connect to say someone from the kababaihan. Hope.
Yeah.
Ano ba yung isa yung sa Hope? Sa kay Lenny Robredo? On the
Istorya
Rags
ng
to...
pag-asa.
Yeah, istorya ng pag-asa. Because we love to... Because otherwise, hindi naman yan na-feature sa MMK or in the regular channels, in the traditional media. And we want to give a spotlight that you don't have to be extraordinary to do
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much to
Thank you.
someone. Yes, thank you. By the way, may nagtanong kung beauty queen ka daw ba? Sabi ko, hindi ko alam. Tatanong ko, kaya tinanong ko.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can I say a little message for the Quezon City residents?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Oh, we encourage
Kasi
it.
meron kang constituents online.
Yan.
Yes,
Go.
mga Quezon City residents, you know, actually the Philippines is very lucky kasi we have a barangay system. Unlike other countries, wala silang barangay. So ang
Tama.
community relations and close monitoring and law enforcement is done on the community level. So napakaswerte natin on that part. And sana itong crisis na to, let's listen to our city government, to our national government, because rest assured we are doing everything we can para we will be able to get through this successfully. So just stay home, stay safe, and let's all heal as one. That's all.
That's so
Very
beautifully
nice.
said. Thank you. That's so inspiring. So we need more inspiring people like you. And I mean it. I'm not the type who throws at talagang compliment. Pag tingin ko hindi
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Conti.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We'll echo that again about the beautiful system of barangay because that's so true. Like my friends in the US now, I have a friend who's in the beach right now. Parang feeling ko, quarantine din kayo. Ba't ka nagbe-beach? Kasi walang nagbabantay sa kanilang barangay level. So now we'll have a short break. Are we having a short break before we head to another transformation, which is so mind-blowing? Yes, we will have just a short break because if you see, we have a new beauty product being advertised over there. All right. Please stay on.
Magbabalik ang KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo sa V81 Radio Worldwide. kabayan, nanguhomesick ka ba? I-download na ang aming mobile app at mag-enjoy sa mga kantang tatak Pinoy and feel like you're home. The V81 Radio mobile app, available in the App Store and Google Play Store. V81 Radio mobile app, free now, free forever. Balikan na natin ang KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo sa V81 Radio Worldwide.
Remember him? And we are back.
Okay.
Yes, for those who are just
Welcome back.
catching on, we are also on Amazon Alexa. You can say Amazon Echo, and you can just request Alexa, please head on to V81. And you know what I do during ECQ, because I do a lot of my the chores myself. Wherever I am, I'm listening to podcasts. Like, say, if I'm washing the dishes, the phone is just right there. I'm learning at the same time. So even if you
Multitasking,
are, pardon?
Multitasking.
Multitasking. Para
Hindi
naman
naman
medyo...
nakaka-ADHD yan.
Hindi naman. Pag toddler, nakaka-ADHD. But anyway, do you remember Martin Navarro? You were in school together, and he is there. He says, great seeing a former student from ADMU. Okay, Ateneo de Manila. Paano niya siya sabi? The Arneo, and a former colleague from Guthrie Jensen. And that's me. Okay. And I haven't seen Zal, my friend, for a long time. Benji and Jinky from the US, who I went to school with. And also to other people, Efren, I think he's in UAE. And went to best get in touch with Counselor. I think the best would be through her office. And she is very accommodating for possible projects now.
Ooh.
So again, thank you everybody. For those who are just catching on, it's also on Amazon. You can request Amazon Echo, and soon on Spotify, and also YouTube channel. All right. So now let's transform. Ito very, very inspiring, because we'll show her photo. And this is not just about weight loss. I think weight loss in itself is already such a strong will, mindset. Like you, diba? Me kasi it was incidental eh. It was due from because that's the reversal of my misfortune, from my broken heart. So that's the best way to lose your weight.
Oh.
When you get a heartbreak,
May ganun pala.
go away. So, pag medyo sumasaya na ako, ayan, I'm packing that on. But now, it's not about, I guess, because I'm perennially happy, and my daughter says I am annoyingly optimistic. So, medyo I enjoy my cooking. Hindi ako yung type na nagluluto tapos hindi kakain. So, anyway,
Alright.
yeah, can we show the photo of
our next
Cherry?
guest?
Yeah, she's the most followed woman, one of the most followed women in Asia. Can we, parang wow, nakaka-humble naman, nakaka-flatter naman to be in this company. There, look at her. I don't know how many, 36 pounds ago, and now this is how our rock star is. At first, when I first met her, I was thinking, bakit kaya rockstar? Bakit kaya rockstar? Tapos I finally got to attend one of her sessions. And wow, it was amazing.
When did you attend?
About 2 years ago. And people have you heard of Tony Robbins?
Of course.
Yes, of course, diba? And he's in several movies doing cameo whenever they need something.
Yeah.
So she has joined him. And in terms of NLP, what is NLP? And
Really? Wow.
she's a certified NLP practitioner. She has worldwide certifications, different places from London, and from Singapore. So you have her whole bio. So can we just do a quick rundown, quick kasi ang dami di ba?
Yeah.
Napakadaming bullets ng
Neto,
kanyang
actually, yung kahit yung condensed or shortened version, mahaba pa
mahaba pa
rin.
din. So, ano ba ang NLP? Ano ba ang kanyang, bakit ba siya most followed? Okay. Well, ang NLP stands for linguistics practice, and it's all about mind setting. What you say, you end up believing. And our guest, Cherry, is one of the few certified practitioners here. And this is so important as we head into the uh, modified enhanced community quarantine. Yes, can we have Cherry on? Happy birthday first to Gabby, her daughter, and thank you for being here. Sorry, I told you naman talagang dahil transformation culture, it took some time. So, Cherry, please introduce yourself on how did it come about yung maging most followed? How to be you ba?
Una sa lahat, Rachel, good afternoon. It's wonderful to see you here, right? And you're glowing with energy and positivity. Kanina nakikinig ako sa iyo. The voice was really upbeat, so I can feel it. So it actually, that energy came to my room right now. Thank you so much for expanding this, this level of sharing and generosity, which our world needs so much now. Okay.
Nakakatuwang guys, talagang she is a life changer. You would see her in her sessions. Kaya natutuwa ako to hear that from you. Maraming salamat. Okay, so please tell us about NLP.
NLP, I first started, you asked me how I stumbled into this. I first started NLP when I was in Singapore. I lived in Singapore for 5 years. And ang ginawa ko, I really wanted to be part of something meaningful, a vacation that I will, where I could pass on a legacy to the the names of people before us. So I thought I want and transformation. So yeah. So NLP in a nutshell is neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro is the brain.
Yes.
Linguistic is the language, and programming habits. So if we want to transform, to break through, to change our lives, we need three things. No, we need a powerful mind belief system. We need to be able to say the right words, resourceful words, because whatever it is that you say, it will create your things, no? And then pagkatapos niyan, kailangan yung programming natin, yung habits natin must be useful. If our habits are not useful, then we are just actually moving backwards as a nation and as an individual. So yan lang NLP, very, very simple lang.
Yeah, and I'm such a strong believer of that. Even if before NLP, I was aware of what NLP is, or that there is such a term. Because like, for example, happy to serve. In fact, it really convinces them that they're happy to serve it. Kasi on the other aisles of the supermarket that we are talking about, maririnig mo sila, they have their own challenges. But once they parang there's programming, happy to serve, di ba? Parang there is a bell para sila that the training program, and then biglang nagiging happy sila. Tapos in National Bookstore naman,
ang ano ko dyan is our emotions. If I may, Rachel, Milky,
yes.
Yung our emotions sometimes define our emotions, diba? We need to understand our emotions reside in us. We do not live in our emotions. So,
yes.
diba, mas powerful tayo sa emotions natin. Now, if we wanted to control our emotions, we wake up and we don't feel good, we're feeling bad,
right.
We need to actually move because motion, diba? Energy in motion is emotion. We need to move and it will change, something inside us, the chemistry, something inside our bodies will change, and then we will feel that, we will embody that. Ang tawag natin embodiment. So when you say happy to serve, for example, if you're saying that only in words, hindi mo siya ine-embody, then hindi siya strong. Pero pag embodied siya, meaning every part of your body feels that happiness and that joy, it will actually express on the outside. People will feel your energy and it will just expand.
Yes, I'm such a believer. So parang on a personal level, for example, parang feeling mo bad hair day. Medyo ay nako, shucks, malilate ako, and then mahuhulog tong cellphone ko, nahulog nga yung cellphone mo. Nako, naiinis ako. Tapos maya things just snowball and not
Yes.
not favorable things happen. And it's all because yun na yung inalagaan mo na mindset. So unlike
Yeah.
if you're just happy, then everything, nothing is perfect, but things will seem like it's just light, and that's the energy you give. And who wants to be talking to someone so grumpy? So
Yes.
kaya if I know you were listening in on the conversation with Consi Pichi, maganda kasi, di ba, yung uh, gagawin yung transformation that she is spearheading in collaboration with the police, PNP of Quezon City, on how to go about it. And I believe in training our mind.
Yes.
So, how does that happen? Like, for example, ngayon kasi sabi natin, let's seize the moment. Carpe diem na kailangan we're in for the progress in the barangay level. Paano natin gagawin yan?
Kapag nagko-comply lang ang body natin, 'di ba? Because there's a punishment, short-lived lang 'yan, 'di ba? Pero if you actually enroll the heart and the head, mas mahaba, no? And in fact, it could be a permanent change in us. So I think it's very important that as we try to transform as a nation, no, there must be a message that this crisis is telling us. And one of that is to
Yes.
transform. There's a next level, di ba?
Right,
So
right.
it's very important na aware tayo na hindi lang, no? We don't just require the body to move. We also nourish our spirit. We nourish our hearts at the same time. So, tama yung sinabi mo kanina, no? Inaalagaan ang mindset. Kasi di ba sanay tayo, alagaan natin yung body natin, nag-exercise tayo,
Right.
diba? We're eating the right kind of food. But what do you do every day, that enables you to nourish your mind and so I love that.
Okay. So, paano nga ba manenourish yung mind? How can we keep convincing ourselves na, no, I have to keep doing because it's such a hard track. Like what you did, for example, it's beyond just weight loss. It's hard. You have to convince yourself not to eat junk. I mean that in unhealthy manner, not junk food only, but to eat right. So how are you
Yes.
able to do that every day?
One of the principles of NLP and one that I've lived with is that the mind and the body are happening in the same system. Hindi siya hiwalay, hindi siya separated, no? It's always together. And if they are not together, you are internally conflicted. So when we accept the presupposition that the mind and the body are happening at the same time, meaning, let's say for example, you wanted to lose weight, kailangan yung mind mo is also telling your body that you need to lose weight.
Okay. So, paano kung
Bilis kasi
sasabihin,
ako kumain. No, bilis ako kumain. Go.
okay, o kunyari naman, sa kapitbahayan, let's go to the barangay level. Itong kapitbahay ko, nakakainis. Parang, kasi syempre, Facebook friends kami. You know naman how other people are in Facebook. They feel, ako, I cannot relate. But, I don't know, others are just not happy for other people. Siguro, like, for example, there's mixed emotion on what happened to the big media company. Others are saying, kasi yan, yung iba naman, parang you feel for the people that's working there. So, how are we supposed to address that kind of mentality? Because I feel also that mentality, our attitude and behavior towards other people is what can bring us together.
It's very important, no, as we build communities. For example, the transformation that we're doing right now. at the very, very core of that, that will not happen kung sa grassroots hindi nangyayari yan. So we need to make sure, diba, one body, one system tayo. How do you do that sa barangay level? How do you do
Yes,
that among your
how?
people? Diba? Sa leadership, even, as you could come up with the most number of rules, pero kung may pasaway, di ba? No,
Right.
parang nagkakaroon ng incongruence, di ba? Parang nai-interrupt yung pattern eh. Ako, I like, my favorite term right now is coherent heartbeat. Coherent heart rhythm. In short, pare-pareho ang rhythm ng heart natin. No, it's like we are now standing at the present time. There is a future possibility. No, and if you actually move towards that future possibility, may crack yan eh, in between eh. And there are people who are falling through the cracks, who are not actually cooperating. And hindi tayo mag-forge, hindi tayo graceful as a culture, di ba? Kasi parang may nakihilang pababa, di ba? Meron, hindi tayo nag-move forward
Correct.
together. So it's very important that we have coherent heart rhythm, which means we move forward together. And hence, very, very important ang role ng leadership at the grassroots level. Diba? Na parang we need to talk, we need to be able to share the bad news and still make people, follow you. No, parang ang message kasi ng great leadership is, I will tell you what to do. I don't know what it is there. It's also uncertain to me. We've never experienced this. Saan tayo hugot ng best practice dito, di ba? Wala
Yes.
tayong excellence sa pagmomodelan. Kung hindi man, it's just in the recent past. So what we need to do is to actually just, rally behind our leader, and that leader must be inspiring enough. And we all forge forward together. And that requires great leadership to enroll, no? Ang tawag ko, rock enrollment. Kailangan may strong emotional buy-in. Diba? Nira-rock enroll tayo ng leader natin na hindi lang body. Hindi lang, pagka hindi mo to ginawa, pupunta ka sa preso, for example. We need to enroll both the mind and the heart. Those are very important organs. Hello, Ral.
Yes,
Yeah, hi,
that's
I'm back.
So you all.
that's so aligned to what he does because he's also developing KPIs for, is it particularly for LGUs? He's developing Ralph.
Oh, me?
Yes.
No, actually, I was telling Rachel earlier. Actually, I've always been really, really interested in NLP. Have you guys talked about what NLP is for the viewers who don't know?
Yes, briefly,
Okay, good.
that's neuro-linguistics programming, and she's the
Yeah,
champion of it here. And
I'm
it's
super fascinated by it.
yeah. So that's something, kasi nga culture building, that's something that has to be done from the core in training for transformation in each
Yes.
barangay. So, ano yan? Is that something na kailangan it's a blended learning? Kunyari, si Ral kasi has the online training. Eh. Di ba? That's what
Right.
you are developing, online training, particularly for government ba? Okay.
Well, for SMEs for us.
SMEs, okay. SMEs ang kanyang more core business. So, is it blended learning? Kasi before this, sinasabi, yung training hindi pwede sa Pilipinas pag online. Hindi raw receptive. But we have both experience having worked abroad. If you have to, if that's something, if you have to comply with it, you will just
Yeah.
have to. Kahit hindi ka matuto, parang feeling mo, pero later on, talagang it will just sink in like an earworm in your, yeah. So how do you
I
plan to
think
go about
milking
that? Yes.
Questions in terms of how do you or nawala ako.
Okay,
Ayan,
napuputol.
okay. I think you're coming back. Hello?
Sorry,
There.
Milky, I did get the question. Okay, the question is how do I intend to actually spread NLP? Is that the question, right?
Yes, and especially to build the culture on the barangay level. Just so one barangay at a time and then
Yeah,
all together.
what recommendation or suggestion can you make for them to start this transformation, like the best way to do it?
As in all ways, it begins with the individual, diba?
Right.
Kailangan,
Exactly.
if you are talking about the barangay, the head of the barangay leader,
Mhm.
must embody this. Kasi pagpasok niya sa meeting, pagpasok niya sa barangay hall, ramdam ng mga tao yung difference, yung change, yung positivity, yung
Mhm.
I call it generative. In short, hindi tayo masastuck sa problem. No? We are actually
Right.
solving problems.
Right.
People can feel that vibration. And energy is
Uh-huh.
everything, especially in leadership.
Agree.
So it starts with the barangay leader, and then kailangan ngayon, powerful, inspiring, compelling, influential enough siya para naman ma-inspire niya yung kanyang leadership team. Diba?
Mhm.
So parang
Yes.
na-inspire niya that everybody is, is totally enrolled into the vision. Hindi
Right.
lang
And
what to
aligned.
do eh.
Yeah.
And aligned. Because when your purpose is so strong, the how becomes very easy. Of course, we have resource
Yes.
issues, everything. Pero pagka hindi mo naintindihan what you're doing and you're just complying or following, di ba? Hindi siya may kalaban tayo. It's inertia. It's our body. Di ba?
Mhm.
Kinakalaban natin nga kasi ang hirap gumising, ang hirap pumasok sa opisina. Pero kung
Right.
may joy, di ba? May happiness, you're very light, di ba? Milky, we're saying, kailangan light-hearted tayo. Then,
Yes.
umpisa na yan, ng mag-move forward. And then, dalhin mo
Oo.
yung energy na yan sa mga constituents mo.
Right.
No? Dalhin
Tuloy-tuloyin
mo
mo
yan,
para mag-momentum.
correct.
Yes.
There are many containers to do that. Online training, maybe, or it could be a rally, it could be town halls, diba? Pagka
Mhm.
assembly, so many ways to actually share that. No, may forum tayo, and hindi naman siya expensive, diba? So parang at the end of the day, I realize in my training work, no, that people just need to be told. Kailangan lang may buy-in. I may not
Right.
agree with what you're doing as a leader,
Mhm.
and as long as you hear my voice, even though you do not utilize or use my suggestions, I'm okay with that.
Right.
Diba? So parang it's very important that there is a buy-in, and alam mo yon, and ang objective nga nito is, instead, if you the objective of the leader is, instead of making my people comply,
It's making them want
Yeah.
to do it themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because energy is contagious. I think her connection is really getting patchy, but
Yeah.
I think really things happen because of something, and that is because we have to wrap up. In as much as we'd like to,
That's right.
in as much as we'd like to really discuss it, because it is so up our alley, and
Uh-huh.
we totally believe that transformation from SMEs to the barangay level, we have to keep doing that, and we'll
Mhm.
definitely have a continuation. But each time we
Yes.
want to highlight that we always pick up something good from all our conversations. Today, Consi Pichi is really a champion of transformation. So we'd like to be able to push that forward, and
Right.
the training and the content that you're building, and the training that Cherry is building for NLP, or
Yes.
Neuro Linguistics Programming, which is so important. Hindi lang tayo aware kasi syempre sa Pinoy, hindi naman tayo maraming terms sa
Yeah.
mga ganyan.
Although a lot of people actually already sort of do it, they just don't know that it's called that.
Yes,
So it's part of it,
exactly.
diba? Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was telling Cherry,
Ah,
that
really? Sorry, I missed it.
yeah,
Nagka-technical
yeah,
issue rin.
because we are doing this already eh. Minsan may karga ka. Karga mo yung libro mo, yung cellphone mo, yung tubig. Ang daming binabalanse. Iniisip mo na
Mhm.
na, nako, mag-ano na, mahuhulog to. Kasi syempre, alam mo na mahuhulog sa dami, di ba?
Oo.
So you're just bringing it to yourself all
You're
the
attracting
more.
it.
You're attracting it. So with that, we'd like to continue this conversation. Next week is exciting because it's in my neck of
Yes.
the woods again. It's Makati, and we'll find out what the programs are.
Used to
Uh,
also be my neck of the woods, actually.
yes, even that is the neck of your woods now, and it has been for me for a long time. And
Right.
please join in again, and if you have anything to suggest, please do so, because that's how we can all progress together eh. In
Yes.
fact, Waya was
Engage
just
with it.
telling I was reading Waya Araos's Wihanko,
Oh, yeah,
Gourmet.
yeah. Mm.
Someone PM'd her down na, don't
I
spread.
saw that. I love that.
Right. I love that you share good practices. So
Oh.
on that note, we share good vibes, good practices, and we'd like to close Thank you very much, everybody who joined us. If you are just joining in, you can still catch us on demand on the Facebook Live
Yep.
and YouTube channel of V81 Radio.
Yes. Thank you for joining us, everyone.
Pagbabago ba? Umuunlad ba tayo? Kausapin natin ang iba't ibang namumuno sa mga lokal na pamahalaan at national agencies na sumusuporta sa mga proyekto para sa kaunlaran. Libutin natin ang iba't ibang lugar sa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao para malaman ang mga pagbabago at mga bagong destinasyon. Kilalanin kung sino-sino ang mga nasa LGU. Ano pa ang impact ng LGU sa araw-araw nating pamumuhay? Learn more about your city dito sa KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo. KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo. Samahan si Rachel Bonus at Raul Santos tuwing Sabado, 1:00 ng hapon, Philippine Time. KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo. KPI, Kaunlaran at Pagbabago para sa inyo. Dito lang yan para sa inyo sa V81 Radio. Tunog Pinoy, Tatak Pinoy, the future of radio. This is your all hits, all Pinoy internet radio station. This is V81 Radio Worldwide.
Ito ang paborito ng bawat Pilipino. Basta all hits, all Pinoy, panalo. Merong kwentong iyakan at tawanan. Kahit nasaan ka man, ito'y mapapakinggan. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Ito ang radio mo, ito ang radio ko. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Dahil mahal namin kayo. V81 Radio, V81 Radio. Para sa inyo ito, V81 Radio.